What's up, cool people? Welcome to another live stream. Another kind of, honestly, recording session. But, yeah. Could call it a recording session, could call it a combo stream if you want. Basically, we're kicking off with a Bible study and then hopping into some gaming. The Bible study is going to be on 2 Kings chapters 22 and 23. As we're working our way through the Bible, start to end. And as far as the gaming goes, we've been working through the Kingdom Hearts series. So I find myself just a little bit of the way into Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Started it last week, I think. Or maybe a little bit the week before, I'm not sure. But anyway. That's pretty much what'll be happening in today's stream. So, yeah, not too much else going on. Now that I don't have a whole bunch of, like, logistical things to keep up with over the weekends, I might kind of soon be able to actually, like, catch up on the videos that I'm recording and stuff and getting to actually edit those and start creating myself a little bit of a buffer. But, you know, still a work in progress. Anyway, anyone who has tuned in this early, I thank you for hopping in, because, I mean, at least in my time zone, it is 6:38 in the morning. And I understand that's early for most people. I'm typically waking up at like 3:30 for work, well, not every day. Monday through Thursday, though. So, more days than not. Anywho, okay. I'm going to run the early Twitch ads, and then we'll hop into Bible study. So, yeah. Once that gets rolling, there we go. Okay. Get this ready to go here. Might turn the music down a little bit more. I'm trying not I'm trying just a little bit harder than normal to not, like, you know, push my voice too much. Normally I hop in, I'm all like a little louder than what is natural for me, just because I'm wanting to, like, kind of sound excited and all that. But yeah, after weeks of my throat not doing so well after these, I thought maybe I'd tone it down a bit. Which means maybe kind of also toning down the music so that y'all can hear me better. Alright. But, yeah. Finally had my first Friday where I wasn't specifically taking care of something else. I mean, the first Friday after the move, I worked a little overtime just to get a better sense of things, wrap up something that was in progress the day before. Then it was changing my driver's license. Then it was getting my registration and inspection. This past Friday was the first one where I finally, like, wasn't doing anything like that. I just went and got some groceries, really. And then had some extra time to edit. But anyway, alrighty. Seems like we're all back in watching the stream. Actually, give me 2 seconds. Take care of one little thing. I guess because of my job having me on my feet a lot, I've made a habit of, you know, wearing slippers around my living space just to, you know, have a cushion under my feet after all that. This is, yeah. But those slippers honestly get my feet feeling a bit toasty if I wear them for a long time. Don't need that happening during stream. So anywho, okay. I think it's about time to hop into this here Bible study. Yeah. So, let's get to it. And I will be recording this, but feel free to engage in chat and stuff. Here we go. Alright. So, we're looking at 2 Kings chapter 22 now. So, you know, Israel was one nation / kingdom, then it got split into two, then a while later, the northern kingdom of Israel got taken over by the Assyrians. Now we just have the southern kingdom of Judah left. It's gone through a couple of kings, some good. The past couple have not been so good in terms of loyalty to God. So we'll see what happens, I guess. I think the most recent one didn't have a very long reign because he got assassinated or something. I could double check that real quick, actually. Ammon, 22 years old. Yeah, reigned in Jerusalem 2 years. Yep. So, when stuff like that happens, sometimes you get unusual situations, like what we're about to get into. Unless I say too much more before we actually read it, let's hop in. 2 Kings 22, here we go. Josiah was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 31 years. His mother was Jedidah, the daughter of Adiah from Bozkath. He did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight and followed the example of his ancestor David. He did not turn away from doing what was right. Okay, so the pendulum has swung back, so to speak, and we have a king that is worshiping and following the Lord. Now it says, following the example of his ancestor David. There were multiple kings described that worshipped the Lord, but weren't described in quite that way because they didn't, like, tear down, you know, the pagan idols and altars and things like that. So, I wonder if that's... I wonder if this description is meant to imply that Josiah did do that during his reign. Like, he took down all those altars. I guess we'll have to read on and see. But, 31 years as king. Okay, kind of stabilizing things again after the quick turnover of the last king. Alright, verse 3. In the 18th year of his reign, King Josiah sent Shaphan, son of Azaliah, and grandson of Meshullam, the court secretary, to the temple of the Lord. He told him, "Go to Hilkiah the high priest, and have him count the money the gatekeepers have collected from the people at the Lord's temple. Entrust this money to the men assigned to supervise the restoration of the Lord's temple. Then they can use it to pay workers to repair the temple. They will need to hire carpenters, builders, and masons. Also have them buy the timber and the finished stone needed to repair the temple. But don't require the construction supervisors to keep account of the money they receive, for they are honest and trustworthy men." Okay, so we have yet another restoration of the temple needed. This is at least the second one that's been recorded in 2 Kings, I believe. In fact, the previous one happened under a king who started off very young, too, which is interesting that there's that connection. Josiah, by the way, is not the youngest king Judah has ever had. There was one king that was just like a year younger. But still, Now, it does say in the 18th year of his reign, so by this time he's 26. You know, he's enough of an adult at this point to know what's going on and probably even have an idea of what he really wants to do and what is important to him. I don't know, I'm still finding the connection absolutely fascinating that the young kings are the ones that end up, you know, I guess, just for lack of a better way to put it, asking for the temple to be restored. So anyway, they're gonna have this money exchanging different hands, but essentially it's to pay the people who are gonna help fix the temple. Okay. On to verse 8. Hilkiah the high priest said to Shaphan the court secretary, "I have found the book of the law in the Lord's temple." Then Hilkiah gave the scroll to Shaphan, and he read it. Shaphan went to the king and reported, "Your officials have turned over the money collected at the temple of the Lord to the workers and supervisors at the temple." Shaphan also told the king, "Hilkiah the priest has given me a scroll." So Shaphan read it to the king. Okay. Still quite a bit to go there. I'm going to pause for a sec. So, it doesn't exactly say how Hilkiah found this, but being the high priest, you would think he of all people should know what the book / scroll of the law was all about. So he finds it, probably reads it, and is like, "Wait, this is it. This is the law. This is the covenant right here." Which I thought that was supposed to be inside the Ark of the Covenant. Am I wrong? No, I guess that was just the 10 Commandments, and like a couple of other things. I want to say Aaron's staff and some of the manna from when they were wandering the wilderness, but I digress. So the, extended books of the law, which probably would have been what we currently consider at least part of, but what we currently consider, Genesis through Deuteronomy. That's also known as the Torah, and that was basically for, Old Testament Israel, that was their equivalent of our current day Bibles. So yeah, he finds this, tells the court secretary tells the king, and then we get to verse 11. When the king heard what was written in the book of the law, he tore his clothes in despair. Then he gave these orders to Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam son of Shaphan, Akbor son of Micaiah, Shaphan the court secretary, and Asaiah, the king's personal advisor. "Go to the temple and speak to the Lord for me and for the people and for all Judah. Inquire about the words written in this scroll that has been found. For the Lord's great anger is burning against us because our ancestors have not obeyed the words in this scroll. We have not been doing everything it says we must do." And of course, he would be one to recognize that during his time as king, because the kings just before him were definitely not doing that. They weren't even really worshiping and following the Lord themselves. So, yeah. He hears this and is like, "Okay, this is not what has been going on. We need to change this now. We got to start doing what this says." Verse 14. So Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam, Akbor, Shaphan, and Asaiah went to the new quarter of Jerusalem to consult with the prophet Huldah. She was the wife of Shallum, son of Tikvah, son of Harhas, the keeper of the temple wardrobe. Interesting. There's a female... This is the first I can recall the Bible mentioning a female prophet. Just saying. So, female prophets are a thing. Also, new quarter. What does that note say? Or the second quarter, a newer section of Jerusalem. Hebrew reads the Mishnah. Okay, so it was some newer part of Jerusalem, essentially. But they went there to seek out this prophet, apparently. Okay. Let me get a quick sip of water. Okay. On to verse 15. She said to them, "The Lord, the God of Israel, has spoken. Go back and tell the man who sent you, this is what the Lord says. I am going to bring disaster on this city and its people. All the words written in the scroll that the king of Judah has read will come true. For my people have abandoned me and offered sacrifices to pagan gods, and I am very angry with them for everything they have done. My anger will burn against this place, and it will not be quenched. But go to the king of Judah who sent you to seek the Lord and tell him, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says, concerning the message you have just heard. You were sorry and humbled yourself before the Lord when you heard what I said against this city and its people, that this land would be cursed and become desolate. You tore your clothing in despair and wept before me in repentance, and I have indeed heard you, says the Lord. So I will not send the promised disaster until after you have died and been buried in peace. You will not see the disaster I am going to bring on this city." So they took her message back to the king. Oh, and that's the end of the chapter already. Jeez. Okay, so the first part of the message is the Lord essentially saying, yeah, all this bad stuff that you've read from this, or heard read from this scroll, that's all about to happen because you have disobeyed me. You have not followed my commands. Because the people of this land have not followed my commands. But, okay, before I move on to the next part of it, like, it directly said, I want to say back in, like, Exodus or something like that, there would be major misfortune, even calamity, upon the promised land and, upon God's own people, because they would turn away from him, or if they turned away from him, I think is more how it was worded. So, they turned away. So now God's like, yeah, you're right to be worried, because I'm going to bring about all this disaster that's described in, the writings you've just heard. But then there's a part 2 to this, where God essentially says to and about Josiah himself, like, okay, you, upon hearing this, tore your clothes and wept before me in repentance. You are sorry about this. You have shown that you care and want to follow me and, follow my commands. So, because of your dedication and your humble, repentant heart, I'm not going to bring this calamity about during your lifetime. It's going to happen, but after you die. there were other similar situations where it's like God was about to do a thing, but then he's telling people, well, okay, because you are different and are doing things differently, generally, following God better than the people before, then he kind of says, okay, I'm not going to do this to you or in your lifetime. So, bad stuff is coming, but it's not going to be while Josiah's alive. Doesn't say how long afterward, just says not while Josiah's alive. Note there where it talks about bringing disaster. Hebrew says this place instead of this city. Same thing. So, long story short, Josiah asks the temple to be repaired. As they're repairing it, the high priest finds the scrolls with the law of Moses written on them. This gets told to the king, who then hears what it says and is like, we need to straighten up, because this says bad stuff's going to happen for not following God. And then God basically comes back and is like, yeah, this stuff is going to happen, but you're all right. You're humble, repentant, wanting to follow me, so it's not going to happen during your life. And there's the too long didn't read version of 2 Kings 22. I'll probably even end up shortening my outro bit for that edited video just because of the summary I just did. Okay, well that went quicker than I expected. I mean, the chapter was only like 20 verses, but still, it felt shorter than that. Alright, well, on to the next chapter, I guess. And that summary I just gave is probably just about to come up again as I lead us into this chapter for the sake of, later video edits. But here we go. So, 2 Kings 23. So, within the kingdom of Judah, which is the only part of the formerly combined kingdom of Israel that is left, King Josiah is reigning currently. He started off young, but he's a good one. He wanted the temple repaired, described how the money would exchange hands to pay the people that would then put in the effort to fix the temple. In the process of fixing the temple, the high priest finds the scrolls with the law of Moses. And then that gets passed off to some court official who basically goes to the king and is like, okay, high priest says this is what it is. Let me read this to you. To which Josiah is like, okay, if this is what we think it is, we are in big trouble, because we have not been following God's commands. And this is saying bad stuff's going to happen for not following God's commands. So, so he's wanting to change things and fix it and repent of what they've been doing wrong. And then he and his officials hear from God, essentially, that, yes, all this bad stuff that's described is going to happen, but since you're trying to do things right, it's not going to happen while King Josiah is alive. So, that leads us into 2 Kings 23 here. So here we go. Then the king summoned all the elders of Judah and Jerusalem. And the king went up to the temple of the Lord with all the people of Judah and Jerusalem, along with the priests and the prophets, all the people from the least to the greatest. There the king read to them the entire book of the covenant that had been found in the Lord's temple. The king took his place of authority beside the pillar and renewed the covenant in the Lord's presence. He pledged to obey the Lord by keeping all his commands, laws, and decrees with all his heart and soul. In this way he confirmed all the terms of the covenant that were written in the scroll, and the people pledged themselves to the covenant. So, we have seen or read about things changing in ways because of people's reactions and responses to hearing whatever they hear from God. And so that, look, if calamity is going to come upon Judah anyway, you might as well at least do your best to do the right thing in the meantime and try and make it better. Because otherwise, there's really nothing else you can even try to do to change it or stop it, and even if you don't end up stopping it, at least you've made things better in the meantime. So yeah, so he then reads the whole covenant to the entirety of Judah, essentially. And they all basically renew/recommit themselves to this covenant. How well they actually follow it, we'll have to see. Verse 4. Then the king instructed Hilkiah the high priest, and the priests of the second rank, and the temple gatekeepers to remove from the Lord's temple all the articles that were used to worship Baal, Asherah, and all the powers of the heavens. The king had all these things burned outside Jerusalem on the terraces of the Kidron Valley, and he carried the ashes away to Bethel. He did away with the idolatrous priests who had been appointed by the previous kings of Judah, for they had offered sacrifices at the pagan shrines throughout Judah and even in the vicinity of Jerusalem. They had also offered sacrifices to Baal and to the sun, the moon, the constellations, and to all the powers of the heavens. The king removed the Asherah pole from the Lord's temple and took it outside Jerusalem to the Kidron Valley, where he burned it. Then he ground the ashes of the pole to dust and threw the dust over the graves of the people. He also tore down the living quarters of the male and female shrine prostitutes that were inside the temple of the Lord, where the women wove coverings for the Asherah pole. Alright, so here's Josiah's first big move to fix things, and that's getting rid of all the idol worship and all the symbols, all the trappings therein. I don't know if trappings is the right word, but anything that gave any indication of worshiping anything other than the Lord, Josiah is doing his best to get rid of it. So that, in the start of the last chapter, it described Josiah as, someone who followed the example of David. I think pretty much every king that it has described in that way has had this level of commitment to the Lord, where they have, torn down and disposed of any other form of worship of any other idol, god thing. Now, wait. Throwing the dust from the Asherah pole over the graves of the people, I wonder if there was supposed to be any kind of symbolism to that, where it was This all falls on you. People before me. But anyway, not gonna read too much into that. So, yeah, not only does he get rid of the, like, items that were used in, you know, kinds of idol worship, but he also gets rid of any of the people that would have had roles specific to that. Any priests of other gods, any mentions shrine prostitutes. So yeah, just a full-blown overhaul of, you know, the worship space throughout the kingdom, I guess, or at least in Jerusalem. Alright, then we get to verse 8. Josiah brought to Jerusalem all the priests who were living in other towns of Judah. He also defiled the pagan shrines where they had offered sacrifices, all the way from Geba to Beersheba. He destroyed the shrines at the entrance to the gate of Joshua, the governor of Jerusalem. This gate was located to the left of the city gate as one enters the city. The priests who had served at the pagan shrines were not allowed to serve at the Lord's altar in Jerusalem, but they were allowed to eat unleavened bread with the other priests. I guess just because, you know, being of the priestly lineage, they didn't have their own allotment of land, if that was still a thing. I mean, it seems fair enough that they're not allowed to serve at the Lord's altar. But, again, they, you know, helping with performing the ritual sacrifices and offerings and things like that usually would have been how a priest got their food and made their living. But with these priests not being allowed to do that, they had to have some way of getting by. What's the note there say? Did not come up to, rather than were not allowed to serve at. See, now, using the phrase did not come up to almost makes it sound like it was more their choice. It also leaves it open to being like, wait, was it just this one particular time that Josiah was summoning priests to Jerusalem that they didn't do this? I don't know. Anyway. But I guess, you know, overall point of that being, okay, they were not going to be, you know, doing typical priestly duties, but they still, like, weren't completely ostracized or, you know, put in an unlivable situation. Okay. Continuing on with those efforts, in verse 10, then the king defiled the altar of Topheth in the valley of Ben-Hinnom, so no one could ever again use it to sacrifice a son or daughter in the fire as an offering to Molech. He removed from the entrance of the Lord's temple the horse statues that the former kings of Judah had dedicated to the sun. They were near the quarters of Nathan-Melech the eunuch, an officer of the court. The king also burned the chariots dedicated to the sun. So now we've got even more symbols of other idols that are being disposed of. Now it had mentioned sacrificing also with a similar note here, where, like, the main body of the text reads, sacrificing a son or daughter in the fire. The note says that it could actually be translated potentially as, making son or daughter pass through the fire. Either way, this was some ritual as an act of worship to Molech, which, actual sacrifice or no, it's a bad thing. Idol worship. Not good in the Lord's eyes. Also, there's a note here. Meaning of the Hebrew is uncertain, related to an officer of the court, or the guy being a eunuch, or I assume that's in relation to this sentence here. But anyway. Alright, moving along. I feel like I'm taking much longer than I need to be describing some of this stuff. Okay, verse 12. Josiah tore down the altars that the kings of Judah had built on the palace roof above the upper room of Ahaz. The king destroyed the altars that Manasseh had built in the 2 courtyards of the Lord's temple. He smashed them to bits and scattered the pieces in the Kidron Valley. The king also desecrated the pagan shrines east of Jerusalem, to the south of the Mount of Corruption, where King Solomon of Israel had built shrines for Ashtoreth, the detestable goddess of the Sidonians, and for Chemosh, the detestable god of the Moabites, and for Molech, the vile god of the Ammonites. He smashed the sacred pillars and cut down the Asherah poles. Then he desecrated these places by scattering human bones over them. The king also tore down the altar at Bethel, the pagan shrine that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had made when he caused Israel to sin. He burned down the shrine and ground it to dust, and he burned the Asherah pole. Then Josiah turned around and noticed several tombs in the side of the hill. He ordered that the bones be brought out, and he burned them on the altar at Bethel to desecrate it. This happened just as the Lord had promised through the man of God when Jeroboam stood beside the altar at the festival. Okay, that was a while ago. I honestly can't remember some of the details of what was said there. But lest I interrupt this for too long, let me carry on and at least finish out this couple of verses. Then Josiah turned and looked up at the tomb of the man of God who had predicted these things. "What is that monument over there?" Josiah asked. And the people of the town told him, "It is the tomb of the man of God who came from Judah and predicted the very things that you have just done to the altar at Bethel." Josiah replied, "Leave it alone. Don't disturb his bones." So they did not burn his bones or those of the old prophet from Samaria. Might as well finish this section. Then Josiah demolished all the buildings at the pagan shrines in the towns of Samaria, just as he had done at Bethel. They had been built by the various kings of Israel and had made the Lord very angry. He executed the priests of the pagan shrines on their own altars, and he burned human bones on the altars to desecrate them. Finally, he returned to Jerusalem. Yeah, I would have thought a bunch of these places that it just described him doing these things in would have been essentially the territory of Assyria at this point. But considering what had happened to the Assyrian king a few chapters ago, I think during Hezekiah's reign, maybe Assyria had been significantly weakened at this point. And I don't know. In any case, all sorts of Josiah going all over the place, tearing down these pagan shrines and altars, and even going so far as to, like, burn or otherwise place human bones on them. Now, I feel like there should be some kind of significance to that, but I don't know what it is offhand. It could be symbolic of, those people who were guilty of worshiping these other things you know, basically almost a captain going down with the ship kind of thing, or like, they're at fault for this, so they get destroyed along with the things that they worshipped. Not totally sure on that. But, so these altars, so I think Manasseh was 2 kings before Josiah, and he went and undid all that stuff. When it says he smashed them to bits, could be read as he quickly removed them, but it says there were pieces scattered about the Kidron Valley. So it definitely was it was definitely not a functional structure anymore. Note there, talking about Molech. Hebrew could say Milcom, which might be a variant spelling. Hebrew is a totally different language, especially ancient Hebrew. Didn't even have vowels, so while that might seem notably different, take out the vowels and it doesn't seem that far removed. So yeah, he tears down stuff that was dedicated to Ashtoreth, Chemosh, Molech. Got rid of Asherah poles. Got rid of the altar at Bethel that was essentially made after the split of Israel and Judah. So then the kingdom of Israel could have their own place of worship and not have to go to Jerusalem all the time. Yeah. Now, note here when it mentions the man of God who had predicted apparently all the stuff that Josiah did to that pagan shrine that Jeroboam had built. It says in Greek version, Hebrew lacks when Jeroboam stood beside the altar at the festival. Then Josiah turned and looked up at the... Okay. So, basically, right about this much might not necessarily be included in the original Hebrew text, but there's a early Greek manuscript that has that included. Anyway, so he leaves the tomb of the man of God who predicted all that stuff, just leaves that alone, because it's like, well, clearly this guy was actually like prophesying God's words. So he's dedicated, he did what was right by the Lord. We'll leave him alone. Demolished buildings at the pagan shrines in the towns of Samaria. As in Greek and Hebrew lacks the Lord. Would it just say made him very angry? Which could imply Josiah rather than the Lord. But the Lord was definitely angry about all that stuff, so it's not wrong in what it's saying. Even if the translation could be a little different. Okay. So after all this tearing down of things, all around, Josiah returns to Jerusalem, and then we get this, in verse 21. King Josiah then issued this order to all the people. You must celebrate the Passover to the Lord your God, as required in this book of the covenant. There had not been a Passover celebration like that since the time when the judges ruled in Israel, nor throughout all the years of the kings of Israel and Judah. But in the 18th year of King Josiah's reign, this Passover was celebrated to the Lord in Jerusalem. Yeah, celebrated to the... I don't know why I thought maybe I had read that wrong at first. So, I'm sorry. There was not a Passover celebration basically from the time of the judges until this point. How many years and kings later? But also, Josiah's working so quickly that within the same year that he, asked for the temple to be fixed, heard the law of the Lord, and decided to rededicate himself and the people to it, he has also gone around and torn all these things down. And within the same year is coming back and saying, hey, we should be celebrating this festival in honor of the Lord and what he did for our ancestors. But, I mean, see, that implies at the very least that, like, even from the time of Solomon's reign until this point, there were no Passover celebrations. Which, that was supposed to be a staple of their culture and their worship. I mentioned Solomon specifically because, like, David was at least alive during part of Samuel's life, and Samuel being the last judge and all that. Because it says, since the time when the judges ruled. So I'm going from, like, the extreme, furthest, like, latest possible ending point of that. And it's still a long time that they went without celebrating Passover. Anyway, okay, on to verse 24. Josiah also got rid of the mediums and psychics, the household gods, the idols, and every other kind of detestable practice, both in Jerusalem and throughout the land of Judah. He did this in obedience to the laws written in the scroll that Hilkiah the priest had found in the Lord's temple. Never before had there been a king like Josiah, who turned to the Lord with all his heart and soul and strength, obeying all the laws of Moses. And there has never been a king like him since. Even so, the Lord was very angry with Judah because of all the wicked things Manasseh had done to provoke him. For the Lord said, I will also banish Judah from my presence, just as I have banished Israel. And I will reject my chosen city of Jerusalem and the temple where my name was to be honored. The rest of the events in Josiah's reign and all his deeds are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Judah. While Josiah was king, Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, went to the Euphrates River to help the king of Assyria. King Josiah and his army marched out to fight him, but King Necho killed him when they met at Megiddo. Josiah's officers took his body back in a chariot from Megiddo to Jerusalem and buried him in his own tomb. Then the people of the land anointed Josiah's son Jehoahaz and made him the next king. So, Josiah has pretty much fixed everything that was going against the Lord. Or at least the vast majority of it. Even getting the people to celebrate Passover once again. Which was something they were supposed to do, but hadn't done in centuries, probably. Now when it says, okay, when it's talking about the idols, the Hebrew term would literally be translated as round things, probably alludes to dung. I've seen that note a few times before. It's, again, pretty much calling these things piles of crap. Because they're worthless. They do nothing. So, not only did he get rid of, like, the major, altars and things like that to worship other gods, he also got rid of, like, the, quote-unquote smaller, less significant forms of idol worship. But the Lord's anger didn't necessarily go away, as it says in this section here. It was just, his judgment kind of got pushed back a bit, thanks to Josiah. So then, basically, Egypt and Assyria teamed up, seemingly against Judah. I know Assyria had tried to conquer Judah before. Maybe this was an extension of that. King Josiah and his army marched out to fight, or Josiah went out to meet him, meaning King Necho, I guess. Sure. I mean, it could be... I mean, really the only logical possibilities are Pharaoh Necho or the King of Assyria. But it's been focused more so on Pharaoh Necho. Okay, anyway, so Josiah dies, gets taken back to Jerusalem to be buried, and then we get to his son in verse 31. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. His mother was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah from Libnah. He did what was evil in the Lord's sight, just as his ancestors had done. Pharaoh Necho put Jehoahaz in prison at Riblah in the land of Hamath to prevent him from ruling in Jerusalem. He also demanded that Judah pay 7,500 pounds of silver and 75 pounds of gold as tribute. So, Jehoahaz's short reign as king wasn't necessarily because he died. He got taken away as a prisoner. But it even still is noted that he did what was evil in the Lord's sight. So, immediately after the high point of Josiah's reign, his son's starting to mess it all up again. Meaning of the Hebrew is uncertain when it's talking about preventing him from ruling in Jerusalem. This is just talking about the Hebrew units of measurement for the silver and the gold. Okay. Then we move on to verse 34. Pharaoh Necho then installed Eliakim, another of Josiah's sons, to reign in place of his father, and he changed Eliakim's name to Jehoiakim. Jehoahaz was taken to Egypt as a prisoner where he died. In order to get the silver and gold demanded as tribute to pay Pharaoh Necho, Jehoiakim collected a tax from the people of Judah, requiring them to pay in proportion to their wealth. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 11 years. His mother was Zebidah, the daughter of Pedaiah from Rumah. He did what was evil in the Lord's sight, just as his ancestors had done. So both sons of Josiah turn away. Also, based on the timing here, Jehoahaz was 23. Eliakim was, where does it say? Eliakim, aka Jehoiakim, was 25 when he became king. So the eldest son definitely was not chosen first. But the chosen king got taken as prisoner anyway, and then Pharaoh Necho essentially places his preferred guy on the throne in Jerusalem. So of course, that guy's not going to worship the Lord. Okay. And that, I guess, puts a wrap on 2 Kings 23. Yeah, that went a bit longer than the previous chapter, but still not, like, ridiculous. And now we only have 2 chapters left in 2 Kings. So next week, at least as far as the live streams are concerned, next week will be the end of 2 Kings. And then we will move on. I realize you all can't see it right here, but then we'll move on to 1 Chronicles. And that, I think, is where we start losing some of the chronology of the Bible. Up to this point, it's been rather, chronological or in a timeline kind of order for the most part. But I think Chronicles gets to be a little more repetitious. Maybe it goes back to give more detail on some of the things that previously happened. Anyway, lest I ramble on about that. Yeah. Time to change stream topics over and transition to gaming portions of things. Meanwhile, I might as well run the next Twitch ad break so it's not interrupting anything significant. So yeah. But of course, all the YouTube folks get to see the transition between all that. I'm just gonna get... this scene's pretty much already ready to go. I'm gonna take a quick break. Be back in a bit. Alrighty. I am back and ready to get this thing rolling. Get rid of that background music. Don't need that during gaming stuff. Okay. I guess this is technically the more recent / later file. It's not counting the time separately for, each character. So, yeah. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is the file to load up here. Oh, real quick, before I get going too much further into this, let me not make the same mistake that I did just yesterday. I'm gonna move the combined chat window over here closer to where I'm looking, so that way I'm not unintentionally That way I'm at least making some kind of effort to also see YouTube chat. Okay. Anything I might want to do with the command deck while I'm looking at stuff here? We got Quick Blitz and Spark Dive. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of Confuse. Thyra might be a good thing to have in there. And Potion... I've got plenty of... Huh. Restore a small portion of the drop gauge. Interesting. For now, I think I'm just going to keep a potion in there. Nothing really noteworthy there. Okay. That's just the ability list. We already have Leaf Bracer. Maybe. Okay. Any item? Oh, yeah. Skull Noise. Definitely better stats. So we're gonna equip that one. Dream Pieces. These are just things that I can use to craft spirits, right? I think that's what they are. Stock. And that pretty much just also showed the recipes. Okay. I think it's about time we continue. Here we go. Okay. Here we are. In the cathedral with Riku. And a couple of our spirit friends. It doesn't look like I can go up there. Is there anything else that I should be able to do while I'm up here? It feels like this is... Or at least was where I was supposed to go. Aha! There we go. Okay, just gotta jump on the boxes. I don't know if that's actually any kind of important, ringing those bells. I did look into the items a little bit between recordings, and I realized that the Drop Me Not is something that can be used to essentially, like, slow the progression of a particular drop. Oh, hold up. Yeah.
Sorry.
Or should I just be jumping after that? Yeah, okay. That's more like it. Come on, open. Royal cake. Okay, maybe this is not where I'm supposed to go from here. Let me go like this and see what it does. No, that seems very similar. Oh. Treasure. More treasure. Dulcet Figment.
Fire!
Like, should I be trying to ring all three bells? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. Because otherwise I have no clue where I should go.
Sorry.
Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm really not quite sure what I should be doing here. But I would still think up is the way to go. But I'm still not really finding any other platforms or anything like that.
Take this.
Nope, that's what I did before that I didn't want to do. Okay, so maybe I should just do one flow motion attack coming out of that instead of two.
You're done.
Nope, just the one attack is that whole thing. Okay. So,
Yeah.
forget what I just said.
You're done.
Nope, that's not it. So, yeah, I'm very much confused. Is this... Maybe this isn't where I'm supposed to go to progress things. I don't know. It would be nice if I could see something that gave me the current objective. But, oh well. The closest I could get is probably the story report. But that doesn't even give me the current story, so nope. Right, that's probably where I initially came up here from.
Thunder. Fire.
Okay. So far, I am not seeing any other entries into anything on the map here. See, I spent so much time wandering around as Sora before. Now I'm doing more of that as Riku. I don't know. It kind of feels like there should be more that I do here, but it's not acting like there's more to do. And I don't really see any other platforms any higher up.
Sorry.
I got some money. Where did I get money from? I don't know. Okay. I think at this point it's more worthwhile to go back to the main part of town and at least see... Oh, I could just jump down from here? Dang. Okay. Cool. Let's see if it'll let me go anywhere else in town.
Fire.
The answer appears to be yes. I can definitely go other places in town. Alright, I'm just gonna let the drop finish. We'll get back to Sora. Drop decelerator, attack and magic gain. Oh, hold up. Aerial recovery. Press X after an attack knocks you into the air to right your... Well, shoot. If I get that permanently, then heck yeah. Aerial recovery. If an enemy attack sends you flying, you can get back in the action with an aerial recovery. After you are sent flying, press X to get yourself upright again. Okay. So we are now back to Sora. I, real quick, would like to see if I can get him another spirit. Forecast bonus, rank up. Ooh. I could make this kind heavy rep. I guess it's another level at least. Command. It's potion. Plus 5 HP. Create. Okay, so now they each have 2 spirits. Flamethrower. Yeah. What should I call it? What would be some kind of reference I could pull? Honestly, it looks a little bit like a Dratini to me. Just a very colorful Dratini. Kind of halfway between Dratini and Charmander, really. Or maybe I'm just thinking Charmander because of Flamethrower. Keep in mind, I could try to make my own spirits just with random figments. But I don't really feel like taking the time to do that right now. Change party. Let's add Dratini. Yeah. Sweet. Not gonna do any of the training toys right now. Okay. Oh wait, do I need to equip the, you know, thing. The aerial recovery, yeah. Also, I got a empty slot for this. Drain Dive, heck yeah. That's a good one. Might get rid of Spark Dive in favor of Quick Blitz, though. Fire, swap out for Fire Raw. Blizzard's fine, I guess. Okie doke. That's the Knave. Okay, can I get Sora up in the bell tower as well? Yes. Okay. Oh, he actually gets some story here. Or at least a scene of some sort.
This is Big Marie.
Hello!
She likes you.
Looks like Quasi's gonna be just fine.
Indisputably. He's tough.
We may be hard as stone, but Quasi's stronger.
I know. Whoa! Talking gargoyles?
Excuse us for having personality.
You could stay here forever.
No, I couldn't.
Oh yes, you have sanctuary.
But not freedom. gypsies don't do well inside stone walls.
You helped me. Now, I will help you.
But there's no way out. There's soldiers at every door.
We won't use a door. It's all right. Are you ready?
Didn't expect that. So how come you and Quasimodo are so close?
We've been friends for years.
More than a decade of camaraderie.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
He never leaves?
Oh, he's not allowed to leave. Judge Frollo forbids it.
Why?
Care to pull up a stool?
The short version is, Frollo thinks he's doing Quasi a favor by keeping folks from seeing that mug of his.
After a lifetime of watching from the nosebleed seats, Quasi just wanted to go to the Feast of Fools. And we're so proud of him for finally working up the courage to do it.
'Tis a shame those creatures dashed his hopes.
You should talk. When's the last time you looked in a mirror?
Well, you broke it.
Ah, a wise guy, eh?
Knock it off, you couple of blockheads! I just hope this one failure doesn't cause
Well, they
Quasi to
definitely
give
didn't,
up.
you
He
know,
was so close.
completely get rid of
Can't
the
let his heart be in
gargoyles'
prison.
friendship
Don't
dynamic.
worry. I'll go talk to him.
Flashback. Frollo cautions Quasimodo. Sure, we might as well. I think all the flashbacks... Actually, probably all of these I'm going to end up
my
viewing.
dear Quasimodo, you don't know what it's like out there. The world is cruel, and you are deformed and ugly. You will be shown little pity. You must believe me. I am your only friend. And how can I protect you, my dear boy, unless you stay in here? Remember, Quasimodo, this is your sanctuary.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, that was a fairly short scene anyway. Ooh, now Sora gets some treasures. Up here in the tower. Anything down here before I move on? Okay.
Yeah! Yeah!
Got a balloon.
Ha!
Treasure there. Dulcet Figment. Treasure there. Drop me not. Well, hello. Alright, well, I was probably just gonna end up coming back down anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that with Sora we're supposed to head back to town now. Another balloon. And what's this? Okay. Didn't quite mean to do that. Oh yeah. If I'm gonna go down, I could just do this. At least on that particular side I can. Link portal. Defeat all the spirits. Oh. Did I do this one before? Or maybe I just did it as Riku.
Yeah! 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 Ha! Ha ha! Freeze! Yeah! 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 Fight! Say! Ha! Yeah!
Yeah. Figured I wasn't gonna beat that within 20 seconds.
Hey!
Just earn some reward points. Oh, yeah. I guess I hadn't actually been playing a game on my Xbox for 15 minutes until just then. But yeah, there's a thing with daily reward points. As long as you play a game for 15 minutes each day. The treasure. I was about to get the treasure.
Hello again. Sora, was it?
Hold it. You're that guy with Frollo.
Easy. I'm not looking for any sort of fight. Finally, someone sensible. I'm Phoebus. Tell me, is she still safe in the cathedral?
If she is Esmeralda, then Quasimodo helped her escape.
Last.
What's wrong?
It's Judge Frollo. He's obsessed with destroying the gypsies, and his mind is in a dark place. When I objected to his barbarous actions, he banished me from the guard.
What? That's not fair.
Don't worry about me. Frollo said he's found the Court of Miracles, the gypsies' haven within the city. Esmeralda and her friends are in danger. We have to find them and warn them before Frollo gets there.
Quasimodo! Esmeralda's in trouble.
Where did she go?
I don't know. She vanished into the streets. She gave me this pendant. Esmeralda said this would help us find her. When you wear this woven band, you hold the city in your hand. It's the city! It's a map, see? Here's the cathedral, and the river. Go this way, cross the bridge, and... the Court of Miracles!
Well done, Quasimodo.
Yeah, Quasi. Nice.
Yes. I'm going to save her.
I'm like, okay, can I get treasure now? Oh, this has me thinking I might have missed some in this area as Riku. But maybe not, because I did look around here at one point before.
Yeah! Yeah! Freeze! Yeah! Hey! Ha!
Okay, I got that treasure already.
Fine! Yeah! Hey! Ha! Ah!
Doggone it, no, I didn't want to use a potion.
Yeah! 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 Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Freeze! Hey! Ah! Ha! Yeah! 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 Ha! Yeah! Hey! Ha!
That's not what I was trying to target. But whatever.
Yeah! Yeah! Ha-ha!
Ow.
Freeze! Fine! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Oh! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Hey! Yeah! Ha-ha! Hey! Yeah!
Okay.
Hey! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Fine! Yeah! Hey!
Okay, yeah, getting a little bit more combat out of Sora's
Oh! Ha!
drop in here. Take out all 3 big flower dream eaters to get rid of the thorns.
Yeah! Hey! Yeah! Ha! Ha-ha! Hey!
Dang.
Ha! Ha!
Ow. Okay.
Yeah!
Don't like that. Oh, jeez. Is that poison? I've been poisoned, haven't I?
Yeah! Yeah! Ha!
so... Oh jeez, this poison's a bit of a problem. But I got healed somehow? Was it from one of my spirit friends? Or maybe I just defeated a certain enemy that gave me all that health. I don't know. Man, that poison. Alright. I will definitely use a potion for that. Oh, okay. That's a nice way to get up. And around to some different places. Oh, hello. Treasure. Treasure. Confetti candy. Ow. That didn't seem to drain very much for something called Drain Dive. Potion. I cannot wait until I get Cure. That will be an absolutely lovely spell to have. Then I won't have to worry about using up items to heal so much. Okay. Progress. So I just gotta find... Oh, there's another one. I'm like, I just gotta find one more of those things. And I found one. No, didn't mean to use a potion. Oh well. Quit running away. Okay, that one's gone. Well, I would have thought there would still be other enemies around to potentially fight, but maybe not. Ooh, big chest. Wee flower recipe. Okay. Link portal. Defeat all the spirits. Take damage no more than 2 times. I'm just gonna keep trying to throw these guys. And do all the flow motion stuff. But especially the throws. Ow. Alright, I only got hit once, so bonus challenge complete. Okay. Got a confetti candy as a bonus prize. I can climb up here. Ah. Okay. Oh, jeez, there's enemies up here? Yeah, I don't know if I want to do too much fighting on the rooftops here. Oh? What is this? I guess that just gets me all the way up here. Ah, and there's treasure. Okay. That's why to go up here. Okay. But lest I, you know, delay the story too much longer, I'm gonna go through here. I would have tried to move out of the way, but it kind of didn't let me. So this is the combined Link attack. Whoa! Ding! So, honestly, just really big meow wounds. There we go. I will make them explode from a distance. Well, if it'll let me make them explode from a distance. I don't think I even really need to make them explode. It just seemed like the thing to do, you know? Shield cookie. There's a link portal here. Between all the spirits, pull off at least 3 flow motion attacks. Okay, but I'm gonna wait until the drop is done for that. You know what? It's close enough. I'll just initiate the drop now. Drop and change characters. Yes. What happens if I press Y? I don't know. I don't necessarily want to change any of that from what it's possibly supposed to be. So completing the link portals does give extra stuff. I do appreciate having the drop decelerator. It's not like I use tons of magic, so I will defer the magic gain for now, just so then Riku can also have aerial recovery. Of course, that assumes he would not have gotten it otherwise, and maybe I'm wrong about that. Not spirits. Command deck. Yeah, now I have 2 aerial recoveries. Darn it. Had I but known. Well, maybe I could sell one of those now? Oh, doggone it, I forgot to change Keyblade with Sora.
Thunder! Yeah! Fire! Ha! Yeah! 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 Yeah!
So yeah, definitely no more need for aerial recovery when dropping. I'm not gonna go around looking for all the chests, says Riku here. Hey, more story, okay.
A dream eater. And a big one. What? Not like this is fair. No use. I gotta run for it.
Oh yeah. Escape from Wargoyle. Smash anything in your way. That wasn't entirely in my way. Oof. That's really not good. Not what I meant to do. Holy cow, okay. Well, alright, that was just all kinds of, like... unfamiliarity. That's not exactly what I meant to do, but oh well. Potion. Okay. Treasure there. Since I seem to... well... okay, I thought I would be safe in here. Guess not. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna run for it now. Or at least focus on running for it. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to do flow motion stuff. Oh my gosh, really? Let me get the final attack in! So I can actually destroy the thing, please. Or I just dodge all around while it's being aggressive. Sure. Oh, come on! You're gonna just home in on me and then even hit me while I dodge? Come on. This is so much harder than what was going on with Sora, just saying. Did not really mean to do that. Oh, dang. That got me pretty far pretty quickly, actually. Right. I'm gonna focus a little more on just trying to book it out of here. Not that, jeez. Are you kidding me? I was that close to the end of it already? That's stupid. Okay, nope. Dude's still coming to get me. Oh. It's not gonna stop it. Am I supposed to, like, be able to actually fight it here? That's not what I intended at all. No, okay. Maybe I just need to keep going this way. Treasure. Is it? Yep, more than one. I'm trying to get the treasure here. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep booking it at this point.
Stand aside, Captain Phoebus.
I will not. What have these people done wrong?
I have proof this family gave harbor to gypsies.
That's not a crime.
I can think of few crimes that are greater.
No. What demon is this?
Oh, you are mistaken, Captain Phoebus. This is no demon. It is righteous judgment. I have been granted this power so that I may smite all gypsies, now and forever.
This is all wrong.
He won't listen. Once you've fallen that far, there's almost no coming back.
How dare you? I am a virtuous man. Good and evil shall be made plain. Once the gypsies face the fires of judgment.
No, you don't!
You all right?
Well, I can't say you didn't warn me.
You should take it easy. I'll deal with Frollo.
Thanks. Gotta tell you, this is embarrassing having to rely on a kid.
You wouldn't be the first. Sorry.
I'll admit, you look more capable than me right now. All right, be careful. It looks like that creature is heading for the cathedral.
Okay, got it.
Oh, so now it's gonna have me head back to the cathedral? Come on. Air slide / sonic impact. Press X while jumping to air slide and move through the air at high speed. If you have sonic impact installed, you can press X while air sliding to gain a second burst of speed. Okay. Flashback, sure. Why not?
You've come to Paris in her darkest hour, Captain. It will take a firm hand to save the weak-minded from being so easily misled.
Misled? Sir?
For 20 years, I have been taking care of the gypsies. And yet, for all my success, they have thrived. I believe they have a safe haven within the walls of this very city.
What are we going to do about it, sir?
Stamp them out, one by one.
You make your point quite vividly, sir.
Okay. Well, at least there's a save point here. And treasure. Treasure. Water barrel. Okay, saving. I guess I can keep going a little longer. Especially if it's just going to give me more basic enemies right here. Ow. Ow. Okay. And I got a little more treasure from that. From that area. Not exactly from the battle, per se.
Yeah.
Big chest. Sliding crescent. Sliding sidewinder / sliding crescent. Okay, so there's 2 abilities that might work like this, I guess. These commands let you transition from slide commands performed with X into combo attacks. Press A while sliding to attack. Must be installed underneath a sliding command. Dang. Okay, hang on. Speaking of the commands. So, under air slide, I will install sliding crescent. And otherwise, we'll just have sonic impact in here too. Or can I have that installed in place of... How do I remove a command? There we go. Nope, I gotta have air slide installed to have sonic impact. Okay. Weird. But whatever. No big deal. So now, I can do that. And I can do that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, jeez, I was suspended in midair. That's... I was like, what in the world is going on here? Okay. Is this actually leading me back toward the cathedral? I mean, I would guess it has to be, because this is pretty much the only way to go. Oh, man. I guess I could have just kept going around like that. You know, between those sliding spots or whatever you want to call them. Treasure! Ooh, hello. What have we here? Special portal. Defeat all the spirits. Achieve victory in 20 seconds or less. Jeez. What the? Okay. That did not lead me to believe it would be anything like that. What the? That was weird, man. Very weird. Okay, let's just ignore that for now. I will get the treasure over here. But yeah, definitely gonna ignore the link portal thing there. Oh, jeez. This looks almost like the, operates a little bit like the Sky Climber command style from Birth by Sleep. I was playing that again pretty recently, you know, because I was still working towards the secret ending, which, spoiler alert, I have now gotten and completed. Sorry, the secret episode. Whatever. Okay, can't go that way. That way's blocked off. So, perhaps I go this way. I'm gonna ignore that.
Thunder! Fire!
Yeah. I like when I get to do stuff like that. Look, I don't want to speak too soon, but this... Okay, let me put it this way. This is definitely one of the more satisfying battle systems in the series. I should have done the thing that it showed there. Oh well, no big deal. Okay. Already got that. Goblin. See, that actually drained quite a bit of health. Got me quite a bit of health back from using the drain dive command. Yeah, let me hit that from a distance. If it'll let me. Okay, that worked. See, now this link portal I might be able to do. Well, it said I needed to pull off at least 3 flow motion attacks. So I'm going to focus on doing those. And it took exactly 4 of those flow motion attacks to, you know, clear the challenge. Got a shield cookie and a troubling fancy. Balloon from the chest there. Wait, which way did I come from and which way should I be going? I think this is the way I should be going. Jeez.
Thunder! Fire!
Okay. Done with those enemies. Treasure here. Okay. And now we're back to the town. Dang. Okay. I guess that didn't do anything because there weren't any other enemies around.
Thunder! Fire!
Okay. As soon as I get to another save point around here, that's probably gonna do it for this particular bit of recording. Okay, take damage. Oh, right. This is the same one that I just did with Sora a little while ago.
Take this! Take this!
What the... Okay, literally I was trying to dash into them that whole time. So I could keep doing this. Why didn't it work? That was kind of dumb, not gonna lie. Okay. Then we'll climb up here. Oh, right. This doesn't specifically have a treasure. Well, okay, there is a treasure up here. But... I think I'm gonna head on over this way. I don't know if this is actually where I should be headed. In fact, this looks like it's definitely not where I should be headed. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm back near the gate again. Okay, well... how about we try going this way? Really? Definitely didn't mean to do that, but I'll take it. Okay, save point. Huzzah. Alright. I'm going to save that there, and I think that'll do it for this particular episode. Alright. Yeah, we got about 3.5 minutes before the next Twitch ad break would have kicked in anyway. Might as well get that rolling. Alrighty. Meanwhile, I can at least look at... okay, whatever. Do I need to, like, intentionally select each ability to... okay. You can unlock this ability via ability link. You have unlocked it. Okay. So if it's got the little blue circle thing, then it's not fully unlocked yet. Dream pieces. Wee flower recipe, right. That does make me wonder if I could possibly create another spirit. Yes. Anyway, new spirit created. Now, does that mean I'm gonna get to have all three in my party? Wee flower. What am I gonna name that? I don't necessarily want to make all nerdy references with this kind of stuff, although Garfield wasn't that nerdy of a reference. I don't know why Rosebud was the first thing that came to mind, which may or may not be a great thing to be naming this. Menu, change party. Yep. Forget Garfield, I'm putting Rosebud in there. I still don't seem to have all three of them active in the... oh well. Anyway, okay. Here we go, back to recording. Alrighty, we're back. As Riku, headed towards the cathedral, probably about to fight whatever the big boss battle is. It's kind of what it seems like anyway.
Is she going to be all right?
I'm fine. Thanks to Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. Where did the creature go?
It's up there.
Right.
Wait. Wait, I'll go with you.
Thanks, but stay with her. Quasimodo. Did your heart have the answer?
Answer to what? Follow the nightmare up to the roof. Okay.
Well, I guess you three got this covered.
It was a walk in the park.
How would you know? You don't have any legs.
Yeah, but... Aw, give me a break. It's just a figure of speech.
Both of you pipe down and get ready, because here comes some more.
Yeehaw!
It's up there.
Which means up there is where I need to go. So probably over to these steps here. Yeah.
Yes, let it burn. The flames will consume everything. You see? This is the power that has been granted to me.
I see a sad old man with a dark heart.
Again, you are wrong. Now you will be judged, just like the rest.
What? Okay.
Judgment is mine!
You're Ansem! Why are you here?
Your best friend is never far.
So sad. The cost of yielding to the darkness.
You could write a book about that.
But I embrace the darkness. And unless you hurry up and learn to do the same, your story will end just like his.
I walk the road to dawn.
Still afraid of the dark, I see.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I realize this is Riku that we're dealing with, but like,
Wait!
that otherwise
Thinks
seems to
I'm
have
afraid
next
of
to
the
nothing to
dark?
do with
No,
what's currently going on. I don't
not
know.
while I have the Keyblade. It will guide me to the light.
Okay. Defeat Gargoyle, leap off the cathedral, and you can ride the heat blasts. I was trying to dodge there, not guard. Really? Ow. How in the world am I supposed to do much fighting against this thing? Ow. Oh, so it's just gonna let me pretty much glide around the whole time. Good golly, really? Like, seems like there's not really much of anything I can do to stop this guy's attacks. Okay, well that was just not a good idea on my part. I tried to dodge there! Let me do the things I'm trying to do, dang it! Oh. Oh, great. So even in the middle of a boss battle, a drop can end. Alright. I don't know if the potions are combined between the two of them. So if they are, I'm going to go ahead and get myself another one. Okay, so I was headed away from the town with Sora.
Yeah.
Kablam. Okay, yeah, that Link Portal challenge was fine. Oh yeah, and before I forget, skull noise for Sora, because otherwise I'm missing out on 2 strength and 3 magic that I would otherwise just have. Okay. So yeah, I think I need to go this direction.
Come on.
That's just gonna lead me up there. Not necessarily what I wanted to do, but I guess I don't need to fight everything, you know?
Oh, yeah. Fine.
That's not what I want to do at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Ha-ha. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. Yeah. 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 Come on. Freeze. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So it seems like, you know, I'm still a little bit further with Riku than I am with Sora.
Yeah. 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 Ha. Ha.
But now that I've pretty much done the main stuff that I set out to do in Birth by Sleep, I might be, you know, taking some of my spare time streams, some of my chill hangout kinds of streams, and focusing on getting more stuff in this game. That's okay, really? Just because the one enemy wound up going out of my range as I was trying to do the one... I know it's not exactly a flow motion thing, but... You know, at some point I should see what Dratini's able to do on its own. This... Oh, Friendship Portal. There was some other kind of portal that I found, some other kind of Link portal that I found before.
Yeah. Ha. Let's go.
No big deal, just casually riding a comet. They gotta call it comet, not meteor, because then it would be what Sephiroth did. And I doubt they really want to equate the two here. I cannot go that way. Why can I not go that way? Where exactly am I supposed to go then? Okay, got some treasure there. Potion. There's someplace up high that I'm supposed to be able to go. Oh, what? Okay. This is different. I'll save there real quick. Oh wait, I just realized I could give Sora some of those movement abilities and attacks and stuff that I gave to Riku. Command deck. Under air slide, I could. What? Why not? Oh, Riku only. Okay, fine. At least I can get Sonic Impact. Is there anything else I could? No? Okay. So maybe they each have different abilities like that. Maybe the sliding crescent becomes something else while playing as Sora. What? Oh, doggone it. And because it always moves it to the next one down whenever you... Okay, that is a little bit odd and annoying, because, like, I didn't want to use a potion there. But because it moved the command down to the next one on the list as I was doing the... I don't know, whatever you want to call it. The other thing where you press B and Y, as far as Xbox is concerned. I was trying to do that, and then while doing that, it pretty much moved me down one command on the list. So because of it doing that, Spirit seems to be onto something. What? Huh. Secret shortcut? Whoa. What is this? Standing in the gas will make you drop faster. Smash the trap to get rid of it. Trap has seemingly been smashed. Friendship portal. Sure. Why not? Oh, geez, there are so many places I could go in here now. More Treasure, I will take that. Katanuki recipe. And I'm sure there's absolutely no chance that could ever have any relation to anything Mario-based.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, of course, I mean, Mario gets it from something else in Japanese culture, I'm sure. Drop loot. Okay. I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing here. I could just let myself fall down now, I guess. Or I go back through this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it leads me to the same thing.
Yeah. 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 Hey. Hey. Ha. Ha. Hey. Ha. Hey. Ha. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. Yeah.
Like that definitely looks like something I could hit. A noble fantasy.
Yeah, yeah, ha! Freeze! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Yeah, yeah!
And what have we here?
Yes.
Bam. Obtained sleep rod. Huh. So obviously more powerful version of sleep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah! Fine! Yeah, yeah! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Oh. Back off! Yeah!
Okay.
Yeah, yeah!
Gotta say, it makes it feel like there's an extra
Yeah, yeah!
kind of special dynamic going on with your spirits.
Hey, ha!
Them having the whole
Hey, ha! Ha! Yeah!
thing where it kind of shows as if they found something. I mean, that's stuff that you seemingly could find on your own, but
Yeah, hey, yeah!
with your spirits helping guide you to it without having to look for it so much on your own. I don't know. Just feels a little extra helpful. Adds another dimension to your partnership with them. Find the secret passage and keep moving.
Let's go!
Flamethrower.
Come on! Hey! Oh, come on! Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Oh! Ah. Yeah! 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 Ha!
Okay.
Yes.
There's a chest in here. Fire windmill. Is that a... I'm guessing that's a command. Yep. Spin the keyblade like a windmill as you rush the enemy, landing multiple hits and possibly igniting targets. Nice. Of course, now I've got two fire-based commands, but meh. Who cares? Is this the way I'm supposed to go? Maybe... Seems kind of like it to me. Boom. Trap thing has been smashed.
Back off.
Oh. Doggone it. When I have a spirit that looks kind of like one of those, it gets me confused with what is friend and what is foe sometimes. Kablam. Aha, be gone. I definitely didn't complete it within 20 seconds.
Yeah. Back off.
Ow.
Yeah.
But hey, at least I cleared it, just generally speaking. Okay, so... where was I? Treasure... please? Drop me not. Okay. Another treasure here. Shield cookie. Okay, I think that's all I'm getting up high. What the?
Hey. Yeah, yeah, ha. Oh. Freeze. Fire.
Ow.
Yeah. Hello.
Did I not equip the aerial recovery? Or did it just not apply for that specific situation?
Hey. Ha.
Okay. I think now I can bust my way through here. Treasure in sight.
Freeze. Fire.
Oh, jeez. Another one. Come on.
Back off. Hey. Ha.
Okay. So now we go here. And save point. Probably just a little bit before I'm gonna end up dropping back into Riku's situation.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. 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 Ha.
Huh.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. Ha.
Just
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
getting a bunch of health and drop points.
Ha.
Interesting. I also have basically not been looking at the shops at all. Yeah, before I get into the next scene, I'll just let this drop and have it switch me over to Riku, who is right in the middle of a very significant battle. Drop decelerator. Oh yeah, I could definitely spend all that. What does Balloon do? A training toy that lets you bat balloons around with your spirits. I'm not entirely sure how much I want that. But I also don't really need money that badly, I don't think, so... Sure, we'll go with it. Meanwhile... I sure hope it didn't... Well... Actually, I guess that wouldn't be too much of a problem if it reset this whole thing. Ow. Ow. Really?
Yeah.
This is not going very well for me at all. Hey, I blocked it. Seems like I at least kind of staggered it a little bit there for a moment. Bruh. Ow. I was trying to use a potion there. Why didn't it let me use the potion? That's dumb. Okay, well, good to know I can just block all that stuff. Might even be able to just block all of his attacks. Which is very helpful information. Except I can't block when I'm out here. Oh, now it gives me a reality shift? What the heck? No, it won't seem to let me reality shift back towards the boss. Oh, come on. I was trying to block before, not dodge around. Wow. The delay in between allowed actions is really annoying. Okay. And for that, this is definitely not the best combat system in the series. Oh, what am I doing? Doggone it, come on. There, okay. New drop bonus is unlocked. Ooh. Alright. Chronicle. Kingdom Hearts. Oh, okay. That's just kind of like going back and telling you the events of the first game, it seems.
Master Frollo, he made me live inside the bell tower, but the real walls were the ones I built around my heart. You helped me see that, Riku.
I was speaking from personal experience.
I'd say you still keep a lot locked inside.
We all do that sometimes. There are just some things we need to keep separate from the world at large. At least until we have time to figure them out.
I know the road my heart walks.
Alright. Well, seems like that's going to put a wrap on this world for Riku. Guardian Bell. Keyblade with long reach that provides an extra boost in magic. So, oh geez, I definitely have some treasures to go back and get in some of these worlds. So that's combat level 14, that's level 18. I suppose the grid would be the next place to go. That to me seems like a Tron world. All right, we have a dive. One prize point before it lit. Ow. Nope, can't break that stuff. How and where would I grab a prize point here? I don't understand. I can't seem to break anything. Or am I just supposed to keep descending as quickly as I can and just work on getting the prize point before time runs out? Ring open. Okay. They keep throwing different curveballs at you with these. That looks a little weird on Riku.
My clothes. Is this world special? A dream eater? No. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, that ain't no dream eater.
Another stray.
But yeah, this is definitely Tron based.
Are you a prisoner?
Yeah.
Maybe Tron Legacy
that
more
way.
specifically?
Name's Sam.
I'm Riku. Where are we, Sam?
We're on the grid.
Just the grid.
You're in luck. Only a precious few are granted light cycle battle privileges.
You gonna explain why it's so lucky?
I'll show you.
How hard can it be?
What makes him think the thing to do is run and do that? I don't know. Light cycles. Use the light cycles ribbons and projectiles to de-res your opponents as you complete the objective. Use 8 to 5 projectiles at the enemies in front. The ribbon will de-res your opponents to your rear. Press X to switch between your ribbon and projectiles. Okay. Also, hi, Luces. Hope you're doing well. Danger. Okay. Still don't know if I really fully get it. Ow. Oh, I could jump. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, this is Tron's World. Fairly certain this is based specifically off of Tron Legacy, which is like the newer, or one of the newer Tron movies. I don't know how new exactly, but you know, post 2000 at least. Seems like the best strategy with utilizing the ribbon is just to weave back and forth. So then you give your ribbon as much chance possible to, you know, have your enemies bump into it. Whoa. Unless you know exactly where your enemy's gonna be, like in this case. I don't like how low my health is, but I have no way of healing. And also, this is so new to me, I have no predictions on how any of this is gonna go. Oh, jeez. Jumping didn't really help a whole lot there. Okay, I win. First try. But I'm only on standard mode, so... Eh. Also, Lucis, you asked how I'm doing. Pretty good.
I've had enough entertainment for one day.
I'm about a month post-move and finally feeling pretty well settled in.
Riku! You made it. You escaped from the games.
Yeah.
I know a way off the grid. Want to come with?
No. You go ahead. Wait, what's the way out?
Through the portal.
Portal? The portal.
Yeah.
What
it's
portal?
Like a gate that opened when I came here. Once I'm back in the real world, I can delete Clue. And then my dad will be able to come home.
Your dad?
He vanished. 20 years ago when he came here to the grid. But because he needed to protect his disc from Clue, he went into hiding. He's been trapped there ever since. But I'm gonna change that.
I see.
I mean...
Sam, you mind if I go with you after all?
Riku's still only, what, how old in this? 15, 16, somewhere around there?
But first there's somebody I need to meet. He's in the city.
But, yeah, that's quite a height difference. Reality shift code break. Press the buttons next to the codes. Press the buttons next to the glowing words to trigger the code. Manipulate your foes and the environment. Each code has a different effect. Interesting. Story flashback.
I tried to get back, but I couldn't get to the portal. It uses massive power and it can't stay open forever. And like a safe, it can only be opened from the outside. It closed on me, Sam. That's why I never came home.
So the portal, it activated when I came in. So it's open now.
Not for long. Only 1 millicycle. About 8 hours.
So we go now. We go home. We make a run for it. We get you
Sam,
out of here.
Don't rush.
What do you mean, don't rush? The portal's gonna close.
My disc is everything, Sam. It's the master key. The golden ticket. The way out.
So it's gonna look real interesting when Sora gets here, because Sora's even shorter than Riku.
Our worlds are more connected than anyone knows. Clue figures if I can be in,
he can be out?
With my disc, it's possible.
And then what?
Game over. The guy doesn't dig imperfection. What's more imperfect than our world? I can't let that happen. I won't.
So what do we do? Nothing?
It's amazing how productive doing nothing can be. Clue is planning something. We've known that for a while. It's his game now. The only way to win is not to play.
Yeah, well, that's a hell of a way to live.
But it is a way. Sometimes life has a way of moving you past things like wants and hopes.
That's great, Dad. Keep telling yourself that.
Good night, Sam.
Hey, we're back to more of a kind of normal environment relative to this game. What? Whoa. Was not expecting all that. I guess there's just like certain spots here that are kind of like automatic automatic like sliding rail sort of things. Okay, fine. Didn't want to use too many potions, but seems it's not going to give me much choice right now. It looks like it's this like red area. Like if I just happen to walk over one of those, it'll like automatically. Ooh, hello. Okay, that was different. So, reality shifts. That was something that was a term I was trying to think of before. It seems like the reality shifts are notably different in this world. 2-star. You know what? Let's give it a try. Worst thing that happens is I lose. Doggone it. There's a bonus objective for blocking 3 attacks. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Fun time now. Good grief. Like, no, where's the other one? Oh, jeez. There are more enemies than just those snail things I was fighting, I guess.
Thunder! Fire! Yeah! 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 Gotcha! Yeah!
Yeah, so it seems like the red line that I can sort of ride around goes in a bit of like a U shape. Jeez, these guys are tough. Had I thought about it sooner, maybe I could have, you know, like done a link ability thing with the spirits that I have here.
Yeah. Thunder. Yeah. Yeah. Fire.
Finally, that thing's going.
Yeah. Ha. Yeah. Ha. Ha. Ha.
I guess it did say it was a 2-star link portal. Whereas pretty much any of the ones that I've done before this were just 1-star. Prize box. Huh. So I guess depending on the stuff that I do when the like hacking or the code type stuff comes up, I can have different things happen as a result of that. Okay. Got some candy goggles for the bonus prize. And I'm just realizing there was another Keyblade that I got. Okay. You know what? It gives an extra 3 to magic, so why not? Alright, I noticed there was a treasure around here somewhere. There we go. Treasure! That's not exactly what I was trying to do, but whatever. Just double checking to make sure I didn't miss any treasures on this side. That's gonna have me go to the next area. For now, I'm thinking I would rather save before doing that. Well, no wonder. I'm level 12, and the battle level here is 14. That might be why I'm having a I don't want to say I'm having a hard time with this exactly, but it's taking a bit longer to defeat the enemies. Okay. That seems long enough for one recording. I think I'm gonna pause my progress there for now. Alright, so that's 2 videos of that I've recorded today, which is probably all the more that I'm gonna record. This is when I could do all sorts of other extra not recorded stuff. Especially things like getting into the menus and... Put enemies in a larger radius to sleep. If you are put to sleep, the drop gauge's speed will increase. Also, not the biggest fan of sliding dash. I think I'd rather have fire windmill. I like the fire magic because it'll like lock onto an enemy. Wouldn't mind giving that a try at some point. Okay. Got a new spirit recipe thing. Some other stuff related to that. Nope. So where... I guess it only shows potions under the command deck. That's all the potions I have. Jeez. I've had to use so many as Riku lately. Do I have... Okay, I have 3 spirits in Riku's party here. It doesn't really look like much, but when I'm doing this, I think I'm supposed to be, like, petting the spirits. Anyway. Would I be able to create any of the ones that I have not yet? Negative. Could, if I really felt so inclined, mess around and try to create a random new one. Okay. Gonna save there again. Trouble is, I can't just switch over to Sora without, like, doing a drop thing. Also, Sora's right in the middle of, like, some kind of important stuff. So... yeah, I don't know. Trying to, like, off-screen progress things here is a bit odd. I guess I could jump to the world map and go back to a different world as Riku. Like Traverse Town, where I apparently only have 46% of the treasures. But I also don't necessarily want to, like, break the rhythm too much of, like, going between Sora and Riku like I have been. It's... I don't know. That whole drop dynamic makes things so different. Because if I'm in, like, until I get to a point where I'm at an area that I don't really feel like I'm in the middle of something with both of them, like, aside from that kind of situation, it doesn't really feel right to try to go back through and just do a whole bunch of, like, side questing and treasure collecting and things like that. Which honestly leaves me unsure of what I would do for any extension of the stream. Of course, there's no saying I have to keep it going much longer. I could just... I mean, I've done the recordings I intended to do. Could end the stream here in a bit and get to editing. Other option would potentially be... I jump back to Birth by Sleep and just try and go more completionist on that. But anyway, Twitch ads are starting soon. Oh yeah, this. I should probably collect those points. Okay. So, I guess I'll wait until the Twitch ads come back. Otherwise, I'm like, so what are we thinking? Birth by Sleep or end the stream? I know, given the choice, practically everybody would say, oh yeah, keep the stream going. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me change the category on Twitch here real quick. I think I'm actually just going to go back as Terra and do the one command board that I haven't done with him yet. So, yeah, we're now in a totally different Kingdom Hearts game. I'm, like, kinda somewhat... I don't know if I'm, like, gonna 100% this exactly, but... I figure in some of my spare stream time, I can... go through stuff here and, you know...
Alright.
At least get closer to full completion. What do I have in my hand? Okay. 2 dice. Always 2 dice. Whenever I can. Alright, now what's gonna be my preferred route here? 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can go that way, grab the blue checkpoint. Hop over here. Grab the green one like that. But, something about that seems really inefficient. If I go over here, grab the blue, hop up like that, and then I guess maybe the best thing to do would then be to try to get the yellow up here, then go up like that, grab the green, then hop over this way to get the red. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Otherwise, I'd be starting with the red, probably going up around there. But I don't know if that's the... yeah. I'm gonna go left. Yes, I will place this.
All right.
So, anyway, now that we're just hanging out, how's everybody doing? What's up with y'all lately?
Yeah.
So I'm like a month into my new living/job situation. Things generally seem to be going pretty well as far as I can tell. Other people where I work seem to have a positive enough view of me. So I'm also not in a place where I'm being like micromanaged significantly.
Thank you.
So that's always a plus in my opinion. And I've just recently been given access to a bunch of programs and stuff on the computer there to help even more with my job functions.
All right.
Job tasks, whatever.
There we go.
Which is good because I'm gonna need a bunch of that very soon. In fact, starting next week, they're gonna add a little bit more responsibility for me.
Thank you.
That will be significantly helped by that computer stuff I now have. Oh, so I do have a bit of a question that I'll pose to anybody currently watching, and I might also put up on my social media here in the next couple of days if I remember. So I did just recently make it through the secret episode, as it's called, of Birth by Sleep here. What I'm wondering is when to post that. Like, after I edit that on YouTube and make it its own separate video thing. Kind of trying to think through when would be the best time to post it, like, within my schedule and whatnot.
No.
Because typically, like, my regular flow of videos there... Oh, before I get too much further, TV antenna, redeem to hydrate. Thanks for that. There you go. So, normally, each week, I've got Bible study videos that come out Mondays to Fridays. Obviously, I'm not going to post a different kind of video then. Typical kind of playthrough gaming videos have been coming out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I don't necessarily want to interrupt that.
How you like this?
In favor of this secret ending or secret episode thing. Because while it is part of the main, well, while it is part of the overall story of this game, Birth by Sleep,
Thank you.
it's... In order for it to not break the flow of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which I'm currently playing through, like, it just feels like I should release it on a different day to not have it break that flow. So, like, if I'm not going to release it on one of those days, when? My thinking would be, well, Sundays are kind of open, so I could just release it on a Sunday. And ultimately, yeah, it's probably best if I just figure that out myself. I've probably been giving a really long-winded explanation, so apologies if that was confusing.
Okay.
Yeah, rather than pose it as a question, I might just kind of go with what I'm thinking and post it on a Sunday whenever that's done, so I don't break the flow of anything else. Yeah, I should probably level up one of these panels.
There we go.
I was, before the move, releasing things on Sundays more regularly, but I've been busy, so I kind of got out of that habit. Somehow have still managed regular video, like regular edited videos on, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then short videos releasing on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Nice.
So, even despite my being busy with other things in real life,
There we go.
I've been keeping up pretty decently with, you know, having a full and consistent video release schedule.
Thank you.
Alrighty. made it through all the checkpoints, just trying to get back to the start so I can get a new set of cards to use to then be able to, you know, capture new spots on the board and...
There we go.
Anyway. Alrighty. Sure, let's level up this panel now.
All right.
I suppose I could have leveled it up more than once, but meh. Yeah. So questions like, love the full inconsistent regular. Yeah, I mean, I try to stay pretty consistent, but it is kind of interesting when people find themselves being kind of, you know, still having regular content, but
There we go.
not being consistent with it, though. Like, week to week, they'll still manage to have something, but it might be on different days. And, you know, sometimes things just end up that way. Like, people's schedules aren't always consistent.
All right.
IRL does get in the way of digital stuff, yeah. And as much as we would like to try to prioritize digital stuff, when push comes to shove, IRL wins out, generally speaking.
How you like this?
Yeah, kind of like how my IRL need to do stuff with my car made it so I didn't really end up having a like just chill hangout live stream the one week. Which, those have been on Fridays, by the way. Like, I'd say generally Friday early afternoon, Eastern US time. Well, okay, that wrecks my plan a little bit, because I was going to try and use that block.
There we go.
So if I go out there, I end up at that spot. Could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Go towards the green. Maybe go around this way to get the red, and then use that block to go up. I don't know if that's going to be that much safer. You're in NYC. Okay. Been a while since I've been there, but I've taken a couple of trips up there before. I mean, aside from the traffic, it generally hasn't been too bad. You know, when I've gone up there.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit south of you in Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
But definitely a big change from, you know, being in Texas like I was for almost 10 years. Doggone it, now I'm going to end up losing more points just because he's going to take the dice block out from under me.
No.
Oh well. Things happen. I'm still very much in the lead in this game.
All right.
But yeah, I think most of my online friends are East Coast people.
Nice.
We got another one that I know is in Pennsylvania.
There we go.
I think there's one who lives in Virginia. Ooh, Keyblade glider. That's helpful. I could just move myself all the way over here. And even like, well, I'm not 100% sure about some of my Canadian internet acquaintances. I think even one or two of them might be kind of same time zone though.
No.
That's twice that he's gotten the Keyblade glider. How convenient for him.
Yeah.
But he hasn't even made it a full cycle around the board.
Nice.
Meanwhile, I just need the green checkpoint to complete my second time around. Doesn't really matter which way I go from there, because I'm just getting the Keyblade glider, which I'm going to use to move myself directly to this space.
All right.
So now, Lucis, when you say New York City, like, are we talking, like, kind of somewhere more to the outskirts of it, or, like, I don't know, some particular, I don't know if district is quite the right word, but, because I know there's, like, kind of subsections of New York City. Boroughs, I guess that's what they're called.
Okay.
Okay, where am I going here? Not Manhattan, where all the buildings are. Yeah. I can only imagine just how hectic living in Manhattan could be.
All right.
And yet, pretty much anytime you see a depiction, you know, in TV or movies or anything like that of NYC, well, I think Manhattan's kind of like the default. For any of that kind of stuff.
There we go.
And I landed exactly on the start panel again. Oh, geez. Okay. Even have a toll in the streets in a certain section to try to not have car traffic there. Huh. It's like, alright, we're not gonna say you can't use this, but, we're gonna charge you for trying to.
There we go.
So if you really want to pay the toll, fine, but, you know, you could just go another way instead.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me use this Joker's Fortune here, see what I get out of it. Oh, geez, 3 dice. That's kind of the last thing that I wanted. I really just need to get back to the start space one more time. Oh, well, haha, that works. Keyblade glider away! Since I got enough points to win the game, I just need to get back to the start, and ta-da!
Easy.
Okay. That might actually be a decent spot to end the stream. I imagine people elsewhere in the house might be wanting to do things pretty soon. Not that I assume they're gonna wait for me. But still. I guess I just kind of wanted to have a little bit of time to purely hang out and chat before I totally wrapped things up. And I'd say we got a little bit of that just now. So, yeah. That'll do it for me for today. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'm going to try and figure out somebody to raid here. Because I pretty much always try to do that, unless I literally only have one viewer. Okay. Stream there says ending soon in the preview, so probably not a good one to pick. But, yeah. I'll be back about the same time next week. Feel free to, you know, watch the YouTube stuff, the edited down YouTube stuff in between, or any other content on my other social media platforms and whatnot. Alright, I have found a raid target. So yeah, hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I will see you soon for another stream. No obligation to stop by, though. I realize people have their own lives and things that they want to do. Anyway, so yeah, that'll do it for me. Till next time, Stay cool, everybody.